Liverpool, you watched them, Trevor. They look great.
I did, yeah. They started superbly well. Front foot, dominating possession, counter pressing, winning the ball back high up, getting themselves in the lead, and then extending it to 2-0. And then it went a bit pear-shaped.
It did.
Yeah, conceding goals, which you don't expect Liverpool to concede. I think that'll be a big concern, not just for Klopp and the players, but also for the fans, the way that they conceded them goals. And defensively, they didn't look great, I've got to say. You know, I've been a big fan of them this season. They've surprised me in how well they've started the season, because Virgil van Dijk, just back from injury, Trent was back in the side, Robertson, so they had their kind of A-team out.
Sure.
But defensively, they looked a little bit suspect.
Trevor, if you were on that pitch last night, well, never on the pitch, never mind that, watching the game itself, for me, as soon as I saw what Griezmann did, I thought, he's off. He's off.
Yeah.
It's a red. You see the still pictures of it this morning?
Yeah, I've seen it live, and as soon as I seen it, Firmino didn't make a real meal of it. He went down because obviously he wanted to check that his face was okay.
Yeah.
But it's an appalling challenge. It's a stupid challenge.
Stupid.
Anytime you're not sure what's around you, spatial awareness, we call it in the game.
Yeah.
If you're not sure, don't be lifting your feet up that high, because there's always a risk that you could catch someone, and if you catch someone, see you later.
I was talking yesterday, Simon, with you about having met Diego Simeone, albeit in a pre-season friendly down at Brighton, and he was a joy to talk to. And then last night he does what he does at the end of the match. What do you think about that? Refusing to even entertain the thought of shaking Klopp's hand, up the tunnel, gone. Petty and unsportsmanlike, or no issue with it?
Probably a bit of both, really. I mean, Klopp made some observations about not liking their style of play, so he probably lit the blue touch paper. He doesn't like. You show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser.
Yeah.
But I do think there's an element of you have to hold the line. You have to appear to be able to manage both circumstances, winning and losing, and they have to come in the same way to some extent. So he gives Klopp more credence by not being prepared to shake his hand. Klopp already has an immense amount of credence, because there's an argument suggesting that right now the Liverpool are one of the best teams in Europe, if not the world, and they're proving it week in and week out with Mo Salah being the poster boy for it. So by not acknowledging the fact that you've been beaten by the better side on the day gives a psychological boost to Klopp, makes him feel even more important, and they'll pay it back in spades, I suspect, at Anfield, not by not shaking their hands, but by putting Atletico to the sword again. So I think it's a bit small-minded. It's understandable, but I think in the position that you have to be able to rise above those things. Yeah, you have to be.
Did you ever refuse to shake the hand of a fellow chairman or a fellow owner?
Oh, regularly.
Did you?
But that was before the game.
Can imagine him, Trevor. I'm not having that. My hand's staying firmly in my pocket.
Exactly. No,
what about you, Trev? You ever refused to shake a player's hand?
No, but what happened last night, there was a lot of emotion in the stadium. There was a few decisions that went against Diego Simeone. And I thought, you know what, if he walks off, there's two ways that can be taken from Jurgen Klopp. He could get the ump about it and feel it's a personal thing, or he could have a little bit of empathy for the situation that Simeone was in. And actually, when you listen to his interviews afterwards, I think he plays it down. He says, listen, he's emotional, I'm emotional. He's played it down. I thought Klopp did really well.
He won.
Yeah, but you say that he could have easily left him under the bus there, because I seen one of the interviews that he did, and I thought Klopp did really well. He diffused the guy, because he said, you was angry after the game, and Klopp was just like, I wasn't angry. I understand what's going on. You're looking for a story to make something of it. Listen, it's unfinished.
But he wasn't angry.
He wasn't, because he'd won.
So
still,
he can easily play it down because he's being magnanimous. There's been times when Klopp hasn't been.
Is that not a good trait to have?
Well, I think it's fine. If you're going to let a journalist, with respect, allow misrepresent,
to dictate,
then fine. If he was angry, then he should be able to say I was angry. But because he wasn't angry, he wasn't going to allow journalists to say you were angry and create a story from it. So I don't think he's been particularly magnanimous. I think he's just recanted it.
No, but he's trying to make a story, trying to make something out of nothing. Because I don't think there was anything there.
The journalist?
No, he's not.
The journo is.
No, he's not.
The journo is.
And what's he creating?
He's saying that he's angry.
How
and
can
he
he possibly know whether Jurgen Klopp is angry?
Were you upset that Simeone didn't shake your hand?
No, he didn't use them
What's
words,
the creation of a story there?
He's saying that he was angry. That's the creation.
He said you were angry.
And I thought Klopp put him in his place and said, I wasn't angry. He's emotional. I was emotional. We will shake hands in the future. It won't be a problem. But listen, it's unfinished business. That group is still alive, and they will play again.
The question was right, and Klopp sarcastically gave him the thumbs up. As
no, he didn't. He gave him the elbow.
He
gave him the elbow, Klopp. Yeah. He said, listen, don't try and
I would have asked Klopp
stories.
that. Well, I'd like to know now that they're back in Britain today, is say to Klopp today, did you speak to him at any stage before you left the stadium?
That's a good question.
Did the two of you come together? Or is he as bad a loser as we know him to be?
Did he open a bottle of red and invite
Was
me
it
into
a
his
question?
office?
Okay, let me rephrase it then.
can
was it a question or was it a
Simeone
statement?
wouldn't bother his shirt.
From the journalist.
Yes, was it a question or was it a statement? Because if it was a question, were you angry?
It was a lie.
That's fair game. If it was, are you angry? Were you angry?
You were angry.
Then that's the statement.
Course
So that's
it is.
not a journalistic position. That's a statement. It's not a journalist's job to make a statement.
And it's
So
inaccurate.
For his look, will
It's
you?
inaccurate as well. It was inaccurate, and
So Klopp was right then.
Yeah.
Isn't that all right? Okay, well.
But the game itself, it had everything.
Good morning,
you know.
everybody. This morning we're teaching you how to play Waddington's journalism. It's new and it's just out on the market. You'll enjoy it. Do you think Liverpool are clicking into gear, Trev? They're going to go all the way and win this thing?
They've been brilliant in the Premier League, I think. It surprised me. I didn't think they'd be as strong as they are. I think you look at the front 4 or 5 players that they rotate in them 3 or 4 positions. They've done really well. Last season, they were missing too many chances. They weren't clinical enough. And at the same time, last season, they didn't have the defence that they wanted.
Sure.
This season, the defence is in there. And up until last night, I've been pretty impressed with the way Virgil van Dijk's got back into it, the flow of things. And it doesn't seem like he'd been injured for the time he was. But last night I just seen him against probably a slightly better quality of attackers.
Okay.
And them two, him and Matip, looked a little bit susceptible.
They spanked
to the
Porto. They
counter-attack.
handed Porto the head, which they do regularly, and they've beaten the Paul Milan side. So the only standout result for me, really, besides the fact on paper 5-1 against Porto looks phenomenal, but they've beaten Porto regularly and robustly previously.
Yeah.
So the only standout result is the Atletico Madrid. The only one I didn't expect to see manifest itself in the way that it has is the Atletico Madrid result.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning 10 till 1 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.